Greetings, true believers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And we're back to comb through a box of files we liberated from a fallen shield base. An event we're tackling in 10 thrilling installments. So join us as we dust off these SSR files on the shield agent before there was even a shield, and begin assessing Agent Carter. Now, let's start with an audio tape.
And now it's time for the Agent Carter Adventure Program, brought to you by Roxxon Motor Oil. Tonight's adventure mounts a rescue mission for Peggy Carter's arch-enemy, Dottie Underwood. But as Dr. Wilkes becomes whole again, the SSR's corrupt ranks intensify, and Whitney Frost's plan gets personal when she kidnaps Dr. Wilkes. Can Agent Carter rescue her foe and her beau? Will Jarvis find the spring in his step ever again? Stay tuned and find out.
Marvelous, BlueDragonFive. Do you like my 1940s newscaster voice?
Well, I have to say, leaves a little to be desired, but we'll find out as we move forward.
All right, so we start at Advil Studios, and Whitney Frost is giving a very heartfelt funeral speech. All right, let's stop this. Let's stop this.
Whitney Frost plays the role of the grieving widow at a press conference. Sorry, I keep doing Don Adams for some reason.
We're talking about episode 7 of Agent Carter, entitled Monsters. So without further ado, BlueDragonFive, do you want to properly get into it without our 1940s newscaster voices?
Indubitably. Okay.
All right.
So we see at the beginning of the episode, we're picking up right where we left off. They're airing these two at a time now, so it's really feeling like kind of a second part, really. So Frost is playing Widow at a press conference, playing the grieving widow, all dressed in black, and a lot of veiled action covering up her big, massive scarring on her left side there.
I'm really loving how the veil is kind of serving as the symbolic representation of the mask.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. We have to get like a little reference to it. I want a little reference.
I'm sure we will.
Anyway, so she's playing the grieving widow for the press since her husband died at sea with her
perished at sea.
Again, let me emphasize why this is ridiculous. Apparently he and his buddies, all who coincidentally left at the same time on a little, they're friends, I guess they're hanging out, but
a 3-hour tour, like Gilligan Silent style.
No, but here's the thing, it's like right after they were all seen at a party together, and they all of a sudden after the party went sailing. But then again, they're like, I don't want to just I'm ripping into the episode. That's fine, though. I'm just saying, it's like they're rich and there was the 40s.
No. You know what? I think it's silly, but it fits with the tone, so I can.
I mean, they're rich guys in the 40s, and people in the 40s did a lot of crazy stuff. The rich upper class did a bunch of crazy stuff after parties, so it makes kind of some sense. But it's still
very true. Very true.
But okay, basically, so they fraudulently died at sea.
I love how Sousa's just pointing out, like, oh man, she is a really good actress, and Peggy's like, no, she's not. I want to spit on her.
Okay, so yeah, Peggy and Sousa, they know the truth. Then there's this really great bit. I call them the rewatch. It's so fantastic. It's when Frost just exchanges this glance with Peggy Carter. She and Sousa are like in the audience, like right outside of the press, basically, like they're kind of like on the outskirts of the gated area, I guess. And it's just like they exchange this look. So basically, the dialogue then becomes directed at Peggy Carter, saying, we will become stronger than ever. Pretty much signaling, I'm becoming stronger, Peggy Carter. You can't stop.
That I promise you.
That's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love this.
I did catch that for sure.
I love this little detail. Just shows us that we're in L.A. in the 40s. Just the reporters, the reporters running after her the minute she leaves. It's not so much as like the whole like look, get in the cars, get in the segways, get in something. It's like just they're on foot, they're pursuing that lady. It's like, oh man, there was some reporters with some with some oomph. That's been the old that's hard-nosed reporting. I like that.
Oh, you want to see reporters with oomph that like chase people around? Watch Gone Girl. That movie's filled with that.
Well, I've seen Gone Girl, Tiki.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I'm saying this is those like kind of old-fashioned, like when it's classy. It's
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, Ben Affleck, we want to get into your personal life, Ben Affleck, even though we don't know a thing about you. All right.
So basically, they want. All right. So there's this really great line that Susan and Peggy are kind of discussing what the next move is in there, because Dowdy Underwood was kidnapped essentially, because there's no sign of her in like the SSR. Basically, there's no word of her being arrested or anything. They're wondering what happened to her, and they believe that. Do you think she's dead? No. I want to believe Dottie Underwood's. I won't believe Dottie Underwood's demise till I see a body. And then Sousa says, I still won't believe it even then.
Very smart, especially because you're in the Marvel universe.
Absolutely. So they fixed the transponder.
And Sousa's just like, and then after that, we should probably, talk about things. Yeah.
They fixed the transponder and they got a feed on. They're trying to get a feed on where Dottie Underwood is. So they're in the midst of fixing that. So then once they have, they'll get a location on it. They'll proceed from there, and then they'll talk about
things. Great.
Yes,
yeah.
The other thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward. Yeah.
I like how they're playing it though, because they are really good friends. And it's like they do have an affection for each other. It's like, well,
sure. And of course, they both know Wilkes is in the mix too.
Yeah. So it's like a love cube.
So I gotta say, BlueDragonFive, I was complaining about the Violet thing, but I think at this point we can pretty much just sweep Violet under the rug and say that the love triangle between Peggy, Sousa, and Wilkes is pretty well done.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with it.
I'm saying that was the one I was really focused on. Basically, I keep forgetting about Violet, but even with the way Violet painted, again, it's just timing on that part. It wasn't a bad love triangle. It was just the timing of that one scene really hurt it, because it just on the surface it seems like it's a really superficial thing. Less about that, more about this episode. Okay, so just trying to think. Okay, so Masters. So Masters is preparing for Dottie's torture.
Can I just say Lee Masters is probably the standout of this whole show after this episode?
Lee Masters.
Isn't that his first name, Lee?
No, it's Vernon. I keep saying Vernon. Yeah, it's Vernon Masters.
Vernon. Wow. Where am I getting Lee from?
I don't know where you're getting Lee from.
I want to say Lee Masters is a character from something. Anyways.
Well, no. If you said Bill Masters, then I know where that's from.
I apologize, folks. No, Vern Masters. Holy shit, this guy is intimidating. I love the way Kurtwood Smith plays him.
Oh, such a good actor, that Kurtwood Smith.
At this point, it's like I'm not seeing that 70s show at all. I'm totally like bought into this guy as a villain. I think he's very menacing. I think he's very calculating. He owns this role. I think this is a great part.
So one of our intimidating villains this season matches the most intimidating villain from last season, Dottie Underwood. They're matched up against each other, and Dottie Underwood essentially is Peggy Carter's Joker. She's like, you're not going to get anything out of her.
This episode absolutely proves that. Yeah. I mean, this episode was pretty on the nose with that comparison. All right.
So you're saying, it's our first date.
Oh, God. So much Joker.
And then Vernon Masters goes in this again. Kurtwood Smith really delivering this little monologue here. We're not doing it justice. We're just trying to kind of get the main points here. It's like Isla Coca, I believe. Basically, there was this the witch, Isla Coca, the witch story, which is basically about the wife of a Nazi concentration camp supervisor or owner and operator, one of the concentration camp heads in charge there. She was the wife, and she liked to torture the prisoners. And then the Dottie owner just kind of undercuts him there as he's saying, I basically pulls out like a what is it, like pliers or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He says, I remember I used this on the witch. Yes, and I got answers out of her. She was the wife of a Nazi who ran, and she tortured the prisoner at the concentration camp.
She'd get the tattoos off of bodies and use it as a souvenir.
Yes, again, that's intimidating in itself. But how do you top that? Dottie Underwood, oh my God, she steals it right over. She says, just again so directly though, it's like not so much crazy, just blatantly saying, I pulled out my own teeth, nails. I pulled out my own teeth, my own nails, my hair, and I've held a blowtorch to my skin. You're wasting my time. then just like Master just breaks it. Where's Peggy Carter? What's Peggy Carter planning?
This is very much like a Batman versus Joker scene right here. It's just like, what is Peggy Carter looking for?
Again, it kind of, in some way, kind of reminds me, because he's played Jim Gordon before, I can't help but think of a bit of the Jim Gordon trying to interrogate the Joker before.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Somebody knows where he is.
Now, actually, it's funny about this is that's one of 2 Jim Gordon moments we have in this episode. Seriously, now you watch this, so you know there's a Jim Gordon sequence at the end of this episode. You know there is.
You'll have to judge.
I'll remind you when it comes. I'll remind you.
When it comes up, I'll know what you're talking about.
They lifted an entire scene.
Oh, God.
Jim Gordon scene. They put it in this episode. I loved it, but I'm just saying it's in there.
Okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Just make this episode get really good. We'll get there. Anyway, so like, where's Peggy again? Just so Kurtwood Smith is so great. Where's Peggy Carter? What's Peggy Carter planning? Okay, so and then down again.
Where does my jackass son get his drugs?
Where's that chunk of Alex Murphy I blew off?
All right.
It's in the corner, and I know where it is. But I want you to. Okay, I'm wasting time. So back to this. Donnie was just undercutting, playing like the Joker is to Jim Gordon.
Can Kurtwood Smith Batman be like a recurring thing now?
We'll see. I think we're gonna open it more to like this. We're in doubt. We'll have Kurtwood Smith deliver an intimidating line.
All right. Anyways.
Anyway, back to this. Jessica.
Oh, God.
Okay, anyway, so without getting sidetracked further, you're trying to act ruthless, but you're terrified of the blonde monster, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Good use of the title.
Yep. And then Masters pulls out a truth serum vial. Oh, truth serum, and injects it into her like mother's milk. Oh my God, Dottie Underwood is so. How worth the wait was Dottie Underwood? She's fantastic in these 2 episodes.
She's great. Yeah.
Oh my God, she's like.
And you know what? I'll get into it, but there was one moment in the episode that I thought was spoiled for me, and I was really pissed off about it. But we'll get into it.
I'll tell you what I think so great about that too. It's like kind of like the idea in the comics where there was an original Black Widow. Like in the 40s, well, I shouldn't say in the 40s, but there was later on. They put Black Widow throughout history, the whole Black Widow program. But Iron Man went up against a Black Widow bad guy. Then, of course, made the Natasha Romanoff and all that stuff later on. But I just love the idea we have kind of like a classic, kind of really well trained evil Black Widow that works kind of like the comics.
Okay.
Let's see. So, like Mother's Milk. So after that, after Mother's Milk,
we have Anna with Wilkes.
Ah, yes. Oh, my God. I love Anna Jarvis so much.
Yeah, I hope they don't peel her off.
Oh, she'll be fine.
I hope so.
Anyway, so Anna's she's finishing. She's putting the finishing touches on the containment field for Wilkes.
Mm-hmm.
And time's running out because he's starting to fade into non-existence, which is not good.
Nope. And he's just very shaken at this point because it seems like it's implying it's happening it's happening by the minute at this point.
Well, there's no way to tell when it's going to happen, so it feels like every 15 minutes could be his last. I would guess.
Exactly.
So Jarvis, meanwhile, he's fixing the transponder, and I love the gag. There's where it's just basically by the seat of his pants. Lucky he fixes it. He's wearing goggles and everything. A little shock happens. He says, "Fixed it." He says, "Oh, that's impressive." Well, you spend enough time around Howard Stock, you pick up a few things, and there was that. What do you think of the clap line? Did you like that?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan, but I fear some people might take it the wrong way though. It is a realistic fear back in the day, and still to this day, getting the clap for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another point, Howard Stark sleeps around a lot. It's a valid concern. Anyway,
it is. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So nothing yet from it. Basically, they turn on the transponder, they got nothing. They're figuring, okay, well maybe she's out of range or something. Then they figure, okay, we need to boost the signal. We can get kind of a wider feed going. We need altitude. And they figure, okay, what if Mr. Stark has a dirigible in the pool house? And I love that line just out of context. But I just love the idea that Howard Stark has a dirigible, has a blimp, a giant Charles Munn style blimp in the pool house.
Well, I feel like this is a running gag because last episode was like, well, Howard Stark has a Woody.
Yes. Oh, yes. The dirigible in the pool house just cracks me up. Okay, anyway, so Wilkes asks the basic question. I love the way he delivers this, too. The actor is playing Wilkes. He's doing such a great job this episode. He's saying, why? Just blatantly, why? Why bother? Why look for your arch enemy? I mean, she's the enemy. He's going back to his kind of his naval training. She's the enemy. Why are we helping her out? Peggy Carter, she's saying, well, she escaped on my watch under my supervision. Well, you're saving yourself. And the Wilkes he's on edge. He could fade into non-existence at any moment, to a really painful non-existence too, if it feels like when zero matter takes over somebody.
Exactly.
And he said, well, look, and again, they're calling this back, so this definitely proves that there was an actual risk here. That necklace, it wasn't just a bluff that has a kill switch in there. There's an actual kill switch that Wilkes says, well, why don't we operate the kill switch and get her out of everyone's misery? And Peggy Carter says, well, that's not how we operate. She's making we understand why Peggy Carter's not doing it. She feels responsible, and she shouldn't just kill someone out like that because it's on her. But Wilkes is saying, look, I'm facing much worse than death, and he's really losing. You understand? Your heart goes out to Wilkes. Am I right?
Oh yeah, because I mean, at this point, it's been what, like at least a week where he's been like essentially living as a ghost who could just fade out of existence at any moment, and there's no telling when.
Yeah, and he's just saying
that's got to have some stress. That's got to that's got to eat at you.
And remember, like last episode, before they came up with this idea for that chamber, for the stasis field, essentially, he was fading into existence. He's getting really close to seeing the light, so to speak. He was basically fades out of existence, and he's pretty much like barely close to just being completely gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeing what he's up against. That's why he says, it's much worse than death. And then I love that he apologizes. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking clearly. I'm sorry. And you understand, you feel so bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, we see with Dottie Underwood, truth serum's a no-go. One vial completely drained, and there's the next one ready to go. Then Masters bringing up some mind games. And it seems like he might be in the long run. We know he's not going to be close at all, but it seems like he thinks he's getting close when he brings up Dr. Fanoff, which, remember, we love that guy. Focus.
You have to focus.
Yeah, we love Dr. Fanoff. Dr. Fanoff.
Yeah, he was fun.
Pretty much saying, that was an embarrassment to Leviathan, and which also confirms that Leviathan is more than Dr. Fanoff. It was kind of a big spanning organization that could be revisited at some point, which could be interesting. Basically pointing out that that was an embarrassment to Leviathan and Stalin, which again, I love the mentioning of Stalin. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it ties it all into context historically.
Points out,
we get both Stalin and Nazis this episode with Masters.
Yeah,
it's kind of laid it on thick.
He's also pointing out, like, you're dead to Russia. You're a traitor. You're dead. You're useless. That's what they're thinking. That's why no one's calling for your release or for your freedom. And here's the sad part: you believe Peggy Carter is actually your friend. That's pathetic.
And of course, that's kind of confirmation on our end. Like, yeah, Dottie is kind of into that idea.
Again, it's exactly like Joker and Batman. She thinks,
right.
It's like the Death of the Family story with the Joker. He thinks Batman's his best pal in the world, and he loves him. It's like, my dear Bat King, he can't exist without me, his court jester. Yeah, essentially, it's that whole thing. It's like, Peggy Carter needs me. She's my friend. And who else can she relate to? In this world? Come on.
Of course.
We're besties.
Oh, God. Okay, so our whole musical montage we had for Jessica Jones.
Is it going to be the people telling me about my best friend?
Yeah, the Queen song, the Queen best friend song. Let me tell you about my best friend.
Just them skipping together.
Just the most cheesy 80s happy music video. Okay. Anyways, we've already lost focus too much this episode.
I was just thinking something that was from the Extremely Goofy movie, that song, To Make You Happy. It would be completely historically inaccurate.
All right, anyways.
Then things turn south and Peggy Carter turns a giant mean looking version of herself. Okay, anyway, so Extremely Goofy movie references aside, it's all Disney affiliates, so it's cool. Okay, so anyway, so let's see what's going on here. After the Stalin reference, you believe Peggy Carr is actually your friend. That's pathetic. Then one of my new favorite characters, Joseph Manfredi, walks
Yeah,
down
I
there.
knew you'd like this guy, of
So
course.
let's just say the next episode's looking like it's going to be an entire Maggio-related episode, which makes me very happy, and I love this guy so far.
This guy is essentially the Gilzeem of this series. Let's just call it like we see it.
He is. Oh my God! Yes, it's so perfect. Manfredi pulls him out of the interrogation and saying, "Well, look, Miss Frost, can she wait?" Says, well, they say, "I'm in the middle of something." Says, "Oh, you want me to tell her?" And he says, "Okay, you don't want that to happen." So he goes up there, and then Whitney Frost assigns him with a new task. "Yeah, I have a new task for you." He says, "Look, I was about to get something out of her." I highly doubt that. And let's see, what's going on here? I'm just trying to think. Do you remember?
Oh man, Freddy! I think he's going for the alcohol.
Oh, he had this really hilarious line. He says, "Grappa."
Right.
Basically, anyone? Grappa offer. He basically offers the Grappa. Whitney. I love he shortens Vernon's name. He says Whitney, Vern. Okay, more for me. It's just very funny. I love this guy.
You know what that is, BlueDragonFive?
What?
It's a pleasantry.
Oh, yeah, it's so great. Okay, let's see. So he suggests, his Vernon's not crazy about this guy. Why is Joseph Manfredi? Why don't you trust my guys? Well, look, he's security for the new council, and his men actually follow his orders, which I love that.
Oh yeah.
So she's giving them the business, which is true. They actually follow his orders. And I'm sorry, when I say true, I mean I love that Manfredi, like in the corner, he's just saying, "True, they do." He has like the great one-liners, like
very true. Very true.
He's so he's like almost not bashful, like on the cups of being bashful, like, "Oh, yeah, that's true." That's true.
Right. He just wants to make a good impression to his employer.
So the new assignment is to find the very same uranium rods that were lifted from Isodyne.
Oh yeah, lots of tension with those rods.
And because they have to be those rods, because those were the exact same rods used, prepared for the test that created the zero matter. So they had to be very specific. So, I know, I'm sure if you ask, I'm sure if you ask Hugh Jones, he'll make you more. No, I need those uranium rods. Do not mess with me.
Where are the rods, Batman?
Oh God. Anyway, so I'm trying to think what's next here.
Frost reveals her face.
Oh yes, the great little appearance thing, and Manfredi compliments her look, saying, "You look as beautiful as that." Manfredi's like the perfect henchman. He really is.
He's great. And do you think there's kind of like a sexual thing going on between?
Well, they're definitely. I'm not sure it's sexual, but I mean they were interested in each other. It seems like they have a past affiliation. They have the chemistry, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
You get a sense that they would have ended up together if not for Calvin Chadwick.
And I think Manfredi is the kind of guy that can look past your face and, see the beauty in the woman,
That is really nice, though. I like Manfredi.
Yeah.
I love him. I want let's see the Manfredi miniseries. Let's see.
Oh, God, no. We have enough spin-offs. We're already working on too many Blue
But you can do it like the Marvel Sopranos. It can be awesome.
We don't even know this guy. If we're doing any Soprano show,
you could have Silverman. You could have Hammerhead. You could do all the Marvel mob characters.
Oh God.
Marvel
okay,
Sopranos.
Hammerhead. That actually kind of piques my interest a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. They're all connected in the Magia. You have They have your Marvel, and they can connect to Howard Stark and Iron Man.
Good.
Be cool.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, so moving forward here, let's see. So Manfredi gets her on the looks, and this needs a woman's touch as she terrifies Vern for a second with the glove man, just showing who holds the real power. Again, Dottie right off the bat, she's kind of pulling a Joker, is giving some comments saying, "Oh, but you're gonna need, I don't know anything about the movies, but you're gonna need a lot of makeup to cover that up."
Yeah, that is pretty on the nose Joker right there.
Yeah.
You know what would be great is if Dottie Underwood if she had a psychotic makeup job where it wasn't Joker makeup and it was kind of the stereotypical women that have way too much makeup on, and that was her trademark Joker war paint.
To be honest with you, I kind of want to say I know because Dottie kind of did that, so I can't Dottie was kind of going for a Dorothy thing the first season.
That's true. That's true.
And part of me wants to say that that could be Madamascus thing, but nah, we can't do two Dorothys.
Anyways.
Back to this. So basically, she's saying, you and I are kind of similar, and then Dottie cuts her off instantly. Well, after that happens, she tries to work her, try to manipulate her, or at least make fun of her, saying, "Yes, we're so much alike," very sarcastically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but maybe a bit of manipulation behind that too. Says, "Yes, you're right. I never saw before. We're so similar. We're so alike."
We're absolutely in the same boat.
And then Whitney says, "Oh my God, Whitney Frost." And this was amazing.
This is a great line. Yeah,
she says, "We're not in the same boat. We're not even in the same ocean."
Mm-hmm.
And she observes the choker. Oh, what a lovely necklace. And she sees the back there again. I love it. Whitney Frost is so smart. She can realize, oh yeah, there's a tracking device built in here. And again, the tension's rising because, again, from what we remember, if that necklace is if there's an attempt to remove that necklace, the neurotoxin will go on and kill her.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bit of tension there. I think Whitney Frost is smart enough to pick up on, like, if I remove that. And what she does, she diffuses the thing. So that's why it doesn't kill her. So don't expect Peggy Carter to rescue you.
Oh yeah.
And then, oh boy, this was very scary. This is the reason you call the episode Monsters. Oh boy.
This is okay. So basically, like, whenever I start an episode on my streaming service, there's like a thumbnail at the beginning of the video, and literally the thumbnail for this was Dottie getting swallowed up by the zero matter, and I was like, spoiler.
You thought she was going to be dead, didn't you?
I thought she was going to die. Yeah, straight up. So it was kind of like, it was really a relief that she didn't die, because I thought that straight up was like spoiled for me.
Well, I knew she wasn't going to die because she needs information from her. But
right.
We know she needs to survive that for that to happen. But afterwards, then it was a little curious if she was going to die. I'll give you that much.
Mm-hmm.
But oh boy, this bit though, is the way this shot. She's just the next shot's actually much more terrifying. But when she starts basically touching her, remember, if she touches you, and when that zero matter starts to swallow up, it's very painful. It's not even her being completely caught by surprise by this thing. It's like, she's like, so the scream she lets out. Oh my God, I've never hearing someone so put together and so, like, this woman is the one in control of the situation. Seeing her finally taken down off the pedestal, just like screaming bloody murder. Her scream is like earth shattering. Like, oh God,
yeah.
Like the worst torture. Essentially, she's being as we get to the next scene here. We cut back from commercial, just this really creepy waterboarding shot. She's being waterboarded by the zero matter. So terrifying. It's like filling up her mouth. It's like, again, she's being waterboarded by this stuff, and then it's like ingesting. It's like gargling with acid, essentially.
Yeah, that is just unpleasant right there.
Yeah, it's like gargling with sulfuric acid or something. It's like, oh, geez, and through a scream too. She's still in the middle of that scream, and that's why her mouth is like.
God.
Imagine, like, her nerve endings are being paralyzed into that screaming state, so she can't even stop screaming if she wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Really terrifying. It's a really creepy shot to come back on. Anyway, so then she confesses that. And seeing Dottie Underwood terrified is just enough to make you unnerved, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
She's saying, she confesses about the sample, and she swiped the sample from Frost. And I love that Frost is kind of impressed by her.
She is. I think Whitney Frost definitely sees talent when she sees it. Knows talent when she sees it.
Again, she appreciates another talented woman in a field. Totally. It's like building up. She loves Peggy Carter, kind of achieved her stuff through legitimate means, and Dottie Underwood is the intermediary step between those two, because she's obviously not on the straight and narrow, but she still is as talented and to Peggy Carter's level as she would like to be.
Mm-hmm. And Dottie's basically saying it's for Peggy's new boyfriend, and this catches. Oh shit!
Whitney Frost's attention when she mentions that Dr. Wilkes.
Right.
Dead.
Yeah.
Says, no, he's a ghost. And then I love Whitney Frost is smart enough just to pick up on molecular intangibility. Good news. You're still useful to me. Then she diffuses the necklace. That's when she diffuses the necklace. Okay, let's see. So then we see the containment field is activated. It looks really nice and old time. It's like really like this purple light is basically the containment field, which I like. It's really interesting looking.
It kind of reminds me of like something out of like the Jules Verne time machine or something like that.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
You know, I like that it's not just like a glass case or anything. It's like just it's the field that's being created there. It's a stasis field, essentially. That's what it is.
So Wilkes's very nervous about it. He's not ready.
Yep, and he becomes solid again.
Yeah.
Yep, and what was his first thing he does when he becomes solid again? He kisses Peg.
Of course. We all kind of expected that.
And I love that Anna's in shock of this too. By the way, it's like she's shocked like the audience, like.
I know if this was a sitcom, the audience would be like oh, and then probably a random applause, like woo.
It'd be like an All in the Family moment.
Right, exactly.
Like when Sammy Davis Jr. kissed Archie Bunker.
That's what I'm saying. Totally.
I think it's not the first time they've kissed, but more like for the romance of like, yeah, finally he's solid again, yay. Anyway, so what's the second thing is that he's very, very hungry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the lovely Anna Jarvis, she says, "Oh, of course you're hungry," and she prepares. What is it? Zalingarian or Hungarian?
A Hungarian feast, the true Hungarian feast.
I don't know. I've got to rewind it. I keep hearing Lingarian because Hungarian makes sense. I don't know if Lingarian's anything.
And then I love this. It's like Wilkes asks Jarvis if it's any good, and Jarvis just like.
I gotta tell you though, short of the dramatic stuff in this episode, in terms of the comedy, is probably the funniest. I don't know why, just it might be the funniest Jarvis delivery of the season. I don't know, it cracks me up. Yeah, just like the whole performance of just as you're cooking, you just go. He peers behind him to see, is she gone? Because I love this one. Is she gone? Yeah. It's so simple. It's like so real. It's like every marriage, like.
Right.
But you know, Wilkes, he's not complaining. He's like he's getting food after a week of not eating, so he's satisfied. Let's see. They get a signal. So again, it's Whitney Frost. She's basically taken that necklace off, and she's activated, so the signal will come through, and they're basically baiting her for a trap.
It's a trap.
And if she tells, it's a trap.
Yep.
You know, the Vernon Masters take on that. Speaking of which, so Peggy calls. She tells Sousa, "Hey, we got a signal. Everything's going good. And Dr. Wilkes is solid again. Yay!" And then I'm exaggerating that. Bear in mind. Sousa then says, "Oh, hello, Mother. I'm a little busy right now, and then Peggy picks up on Vernon Masters is there, isn't he?" Saying, "Oh well, you know, Mom. I'm in the middle of things right now." Anyway, he
just comes up and he's like, "Well, count your lucky stars that she's still among us, son."
Oh yeah, he's getting so creepy. And I gotta tell you though, let me start the Jim Gordon thing right now. A little bit of it here.
Okay.
I must say, you know, never mind. I'm gonna save it so you can blow your mind with how lifted it is from the comics.
Okay, for sure.
A little later. Point is, Vernon Masters here is just saying. Oh, you're doing a swell job here. Can I call you Daniel? I prefer it.
I love that. I love the pleasantness of that. Can I call you Daniel?
It's pleasant. It's pleasantries, Dylan. It's pleasantries. Oh my God! Can you imagine Kurtwood Smith was the bad guy in Bates Motel season 4?
Oh hell yeah! That would be awesome. He would fit right in.
Yeah, but we have this new Ed Gein looking guy, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, no. We'll see.
Anyway, look at Phil Thomas. We saw one image of the guy. We can't cast dispersions on him already.
I guess. I mean, it makes sense with this isn't the Bates Motel.
Right.
We'll get to that.
So basically, Masters is prodding Sousa ominously, asking him questions about. Well, did you hear about the theft at Roxxon? The theft of the Roxxon uranium rods.
Roxxon motor oil.
And let's see. So Jarvis, we then cut back to our heroes. You know, Jarvis suspects it's a trap, and Peggy knows it. Of course, we know it. We're walking into a trap. And Jarvis has something special for the occasion that Howard Stark's prepared. It's the jitterbug, not the dance craze. No, it's the jitterbug, the non-lethal concussive device.
Doesn't Jarvis also say something about like, "Oh, I better go get some biscuits"?
You know, I don't remember the biscuits part, but I think
I have it written down in my notes. Like, oh, Jarvis plans on baking biscuits to take along.
Oh, I think they would have called that back if they did the biscuits. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Might be in
I
there.
don't know where I got that from. Anyways.
Anyway, so biscuits aside, basically it's this device that basically plug in a code, and based on the code it will release a concussive sonic. It's kind of like a sonic blast. It's like you don't really have a hear sounds like more.
I kind of got it like it's kind of like a sound wave that kind of physically can be used as a weapon.
Something like that. It's like some sort of concussive blast that's just, I don't know if it's building kinetic energy or not. It's basically unleashing a blast that'll put everyone on their backs in a 170 degree field. And basically, you put in the code, he puts in the code, he demonstrates, and he cuts a rug. That's why they call it the jitterbug. It really cuts a rug when it goes off.
Sure.
Okay, Anna Jarvis here, she suggests the dark jacket for Jarvis. And I gotta tell you, that's so sweet. Aww. She's suggesting, like, may I suggest the darker jacket? And I love this, and they're showing you how lovely their relationship is. Jarvis knows.
I'm sure this is what you were alluding to last episode.
Yeah, Jarvis is like saying, "Is everything okay?" Well, I mean, they had a little hint at it last episode, but here they're finally discussing it, though. Just like him mentioning, "Well, is everything okay?" Just being open-minded enough to know, like, "Oh, my wife's a little off here. I know this one better than I know myself. I mean, I can sense there's something wrong because I love this one so much." And says, "Oh, you're worried about me," and she sees and she sees that Peggy Carter needs you, and you need this too because your adventures and everything. You need this.
She can permit him to go on his adventures, but go ahead.
But you need to allow me to wring my hands now and again. Like think about how progressive and wonderful that is. It's not like the whole like
a perfect middle ground. It's like so Kim Westcler-esque.
Yes, exactly. It's like the addressing the relationship stuff, saying, "Look, I'm going to worry about you, but you just got to let me do that. I mean, just let me do that. We live with that." It's not like the whole like wife saying, "Don't do this, please. Don't do this. Don't get yourself killed. Think of the children."
Oh God!
Please.
Oh God!
But
think of the flamingos.
Think of Bert Stark. Think of Gloria Stefan.
Oh God. That's a crossover I want to see.
Anyway. So,
hey, babe, yeah, I'm just taking care of this penguin for the weekend. Anyways,
then he says, "Look, I promise I will come," and this is a sad line. He says, "I promise no harm will come to me." He says, "Don't make promises you can't keep." Given
that's so sad in retrospect.
It is, but oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me preface this for the folks who don't know. This is one of the best Jarvis episodes. It's really not yet. Put it down. Not yet. Don't get ahead of us. One of the you're gonna see a really side of Jarvis you've never seen before. It's gonna like grab you it's gonna grab you out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Sousa's asking about the delay in the response. From that, I'm sorry. He's asking. I'm trying to think where we are here. So he's talking to Masters. And Masters likes Daniel's story.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I was going to. Sousa's asking about the delay in response because he didn't hear, quote unquote, he didn't hear about the news because he was there, but he can't allude to that. He's just dancing around the subject with
right.
Masters is saying, Daniel, I like your story. People like your story. The war hero lost a limb. He's come back. He's an upstanding guy. That sort of thing. And it's a tale of sacrifice. And this can be.
I really love this angle with Masters, man, because he's just like he's essentially kind of the devil, just offering you, like just don't sign deal with the devil. He's offering you everything, Daniel. You're a war hero, Daniel. You need to exploit that.
Yeah, it's also maybe a subtle thing of like he's seeing weakness in Thompson, so he's approaching Sousa thinking he'll do the smart thing.
Maybe also kind of the subtle nod to Captain America, and kind of like instead of his heroics being used for good, it's being more used for propaganda purposes.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, so basically just saying, well, this can be your next step, your next strategic step here. And if you might lose friends and et cetera, but people love a hero. They love a hero. They love a yarn. a good yarn. Sousa's he's not buying into. He's just saying he's
I
wavering
love
saying.
that philosophy from Masters, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good philosophy. Just the idea of, it's kind of the dark side of the propaganda, like you said.
Everyone loves a good story, Daniel.
Again, he's just looking at people for what they bring instead of the people themselves. That's what Masters is. He's looking for, I can mold Thompson. I can manipulate. I can use Sousa to basically get the eyes to what we're doing, but I can get Thompson to be kind of the muscle and spine. And again, it's like he's trying to corrupt Dooley's boys.
Okay.
I'm calling them Dooley's.
On the next mysterious adventure of the Dooley boys.
There's a ghost in town, and it's Dr. Wilkes.
Oh God. That would totally, yes, that would totally be a thing. Anyways.
And aided by their pet flamingo.
Oh God, yes.
They solve mysteries together.
The flamingo would have to talk. The flamingo would have to talk and give catchphrases.
And Peggy Carter wants in, but no girls allowed in this club. And she's like from Inspector Gadget. She's solving a lot of stuff. But Jarvis is like, he's like the Shaggy. It's like, I'm afraid. I don't want to do this, but okay, let's get it done.
I think we need to call Hanna-Barbera from the 1970s. We've got a show to pitch.
Okay, back to this. Basically, Sousa's brushing off, saying, we'll do our best to find out what's going on, but bear in mind, there's kind of a last minute information we're getting here. It says, okay, basically says, well, I guess I should keep my expectations realistic.
Oh boy!
That's something bad's gonna happen. Okay, let's see. So we're on the drive to the Chadwick Ranch. That's where the signal was picked up as, where Peggy and Jarvis are hidden. And oh my God, this scene's great and very important for our ending. This gets mirrored in the end. This is a very important scene. Let's see. So Jarvis is he's just kind of prying a little bit, just saying, you're a little quiet, aren't you? A little, you nervous? He's just trying to pry a little bit, and then Beggar's stomps her own heel on the brick. So stop, and I love this. This shows.
I think this is the line of the episode right here. She's like, do you have anything to say, Mr. Jarvis, instead of pecking around like a fat hen?
Like a mother hen.
Oh, like a mother hen. All right.
But also, I love before that happened, though, he said, well, that was unsafe. Or, that's unsafe. I don't even know if he says, that was unsafe. He says, unsafe. He's like...
Oh, God.
But yeah, you're right, though. He's love again. They feel like such a great pair. Haley Atwell and James Darcy have such great chemistry. They're friends in real life, and they communicate so well.
Sure.
Just what he was basically saying, I like the silence. And then she points out, yes, we kissed, and there was a lot of excitement, and you blushed. What? First of all, here's what cracks me up about that. I lost just. I don't know if there's something scored there, but it's she overreacts so much. They feel like kids in a car together, just I did what? She feels like Lucy or something from the Peanuts, overreacting, what was that? I beg your pardon, and blush like little girls, I did not. That sort of thing.
And I'll have you know, this is quite the sticky situation with Chief Sousa.
And then it says, "What are you eavesdropping?" No, I
okay, I was, yes.
I do not envy your position, with Wilkes's winning smile.
Oh God, this is great. Oh,
and Agent and Chief Sousa's eyes.
So warm, so wide.
And then basically, he's pointing at the Archie situation she's in right now, and she points the reverse Archie situation. She points it out. Look, it was not my intention to do that, again, she really lets down the shield. She lets down the shields here really nice. She says, "It was not my intention. I don't know what I'm going to do." And they resume the silence and the drive because Jarvis now realizes, okay, she's mulling over some big stuff, which again is going to come back big full circle in the end here.
Oh yeah, big time.
So Jarvis, they're on the premises there, and Jarvis, jitterbug in hand, he gets caught and says, "What are you? Who are you?" "Well, I'm just a distraction." Peggy Carter then knocks the guy out. Unfortunately, the gun goes off, and then the guards and the security are coming. He puts a jitterbug down with, okay, Jarvis is going to knock all these guys on their backs. He puts in the code, but not working. like 23, 23, 23, or something like that. Like one of the numbers might be different. It's like 23 is not something. And then they realize it's not going off, and they say, "Okay, move 1 more inch, buddy. See what happens." Says, "Miss Carter, what should we do now?" Surrender. We'll surrender.
Then here we go with the Dottie thing. Oh my god!
So they're carted back into the holding cell with Dottie Underwood. Oh my god, Dottie's like, she's so touched by the rescue attempt.
Hey, I'm so happy to see you. What a nice surprise!
Oh god!
I love the way she has. What a nice surprise!
It feels so Joker-esque.
Oh, totally. At this point, I think they're just straight up doing an homage to Joker.
Betsy, I knew you cared.
Oh, God.
Buddy.
Anyways.
Who's for Chinese?
Oh, God.
Or a little water torture. I'm easy. Okay, so let's see. So Anna Jarvis is sitting down to a meal with the now solid Dr. Wilkes. They're toasting wine, L'Chaim. Little reference. You know, she is Jewish, which is, I like they still keep that little elements of that here and there. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's see. So they're toasting, they're drinking, they're having kind of airing out some issues and talking about stuff. Says, and to Peggy and Jarvis is safe return, and cut to the 3 of them not really safe at all. They're trapped. Our 3 characters are basically bound and tied up to various objects like chairs and a pole. Let's see. So they all try to free themselves, and then Jarvis will continue throughout the scenes just saying, like, essentially like 23, 23, 23, like just playing the Cody Enter back in his head over and over again.
Right.
Peggy notices that Dottie, I love this, she's noticing subtly that Dottie's a little shaken up and she's deflecting from saying that before it gets really apparent what's happened. And, you know, she's basically lying about telling Whitney Frost anything and about the plan, what went wrong and all that stuff. She warns Peg that, well, Peg, you better hope you get free first, because if I get free, there's no telling what I'm going to do.
Oh, God.
So fun. Again,
so Joker-esque.
Yes, oh my God. It's like...
Oh, there's no telling what I'll do once I escape this loony bin, Batsy.
It feels so Arkham game Joker. It really does.
Right.
In the Arkham game, Sticky, he would just make all these fun little... Because you have to have dialogue to fill the games. Like Joker would always be on an intercom system of some kind. He always just make references. You know, Batsy, maybe I'll give you the cure. Well, maybe I'll just drain it down the sink. Something like that. We'll see. What are you thinking of, Batsy? Me? In a thong? After he was... See, Batman was dosed by fear gas. And what's your worst fear, Batsy? Letting the whole city down? Me? In a thong?
Oh God!
It's funny. It's all the little, just a little biting.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah. So let's see. So meanwhile, back at dinner, Anna mentions that you know, Jarvis in the first season he lied to protect her, and now she kind of misses those days. She misses the lie because you know she's worried about him 24/7 when she didn't really have to worry about him because she was in the dark.
Right.
And you know they're saying, okay, look, let's not talk about all the dark stuff here. We're here to celebrate. This is the time to celebrate. You know, Wilkes has no idea. And what are you planning next anyway? So Wilkes says, well, I have no idea. Well, no, what I'm doing next. I put all my stock in Isodyne on the work on Zero Man. We're like 10 years away from a breakthrough. Now it's happened. Now I'm out of a job and all that stuff. I don't know what to do next.
I'm crying into a $400 bottle of wine.
How about we cry into a $1,000 bottle of wine? Okay. I got to tell you, I like that idea.
All I can think of when I watch the scene is I just have to go back to Sideways and Paul Giamatti. I think he'd love to crack open a $1,000 bottle of wine. Anyways.
Yeah, let's see. So Peg's asking what happened to Dottie Underwood as she's noticing like she's really not in good shape right now. Dottie breaks the news on how this is important. This is setting up some stuff. Dottie breaks the news to Peggy, and this is what I was getting in last episode, where we get some confirmation in this episode that Dottie does know the SSR is kind of corrupt.
Definitely.
And she knows that they're in the council's pocket, many of them, including Vernon Masters. Jarvis manages to free himself, with points for Jarvis. Yeah, good on Jarvis. I was so happy for that. All right, Jarvis is gonna. For a moment, I was expecting to pull a gun or something on, but then I realized he didn't have a gun to pull on Dottie Underwood. It's like, oh yeah, he's gonna make sure she doesn't try anything tricky. But anyway, so Jarvis frees himself, and then he realizes the actual Carol Lombard. Carol Lombard's her bust. It's not just, it's like the bust dress and whatever the sizes are for basically what her measurements were. And I'm sorry. Also, Dottie points out your idealism will kill us. And he said, Carol Lombard. What? Carol Lombard. That was the code I put in. Instead, I put in Barbara Sandwich. Am I saying that right? It was Barbara's Sandwich, wasn't
it? I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I'm sorry.
Really? You don't know any of it?
It's not in my notes. I'm sorry.
Jarvis escaped, and he mentions, he put in the wrong code, and they says, Barbara Sandwich, what's that one? A delayed response, and we hear from above, all the guys been knocked out. Now, Dottie's still reeling over the torture. We see she's really, kind of stumbling a little bit. Oh my God, what did they do to you? And then Peg's starting to get up to speed, realizing what's happening. Well, the trap's not for you, but for Jason. Basically, the trap was set
again, kind of a very Joker-like thing.
Yeah, so basically,
I'm here. I didn't do anything.
I'm here. I didn't do anything. Who you leaving with? Anyway, so but yeah, that's kind of the bait and switch that Whitney Frost has planned out. She activates the thing, lures Peggy Carr down there, while she goes after the real booty, which is Jason Wilkes.
Oh yeah, and of course.
Here's the bit where everything's just really amped up to 11 and awesome right here.
And it's like, as much as we like Wilkes at this point, we're just all terrified for Anna Jarvis.
But here's the moment, though. I got to say, James Darcy, he turns in. Usually we love the comedy on Jarvis, but this episode, from this point forward, my God, James Darcy, let him hover around Bryan Cranston's head. Just let him hover around it.
Just give him like 10 minutes in Bryan Cranston's Emmy room.
Yeah, there's the thing. Just let him like take a nice seat next to him. Let him bask in some Emmy goodness. Anyway, so Jarvis. The point is the James Darcy plays this moment so
I love how we have this running joke where Bryan Cranston's Emmys apparently like just give you supreme acting ability or something.
Well, they cure hair loss.
Well, they have some sort of supernatural ability to them. I think we can agree to that. Anyways,
they do. That's the cure of world hunger. Is Bryan Cranston's Emmys? I don't know how, but it's tied into it, folks. That's why we need the minds looking at that angle. Forget the stem cells. Let's look at the. Anyway, but seriously, this moment James Darcy plays when Jarvis realizes it says more like Anna, when he just realizes Anna's in trouble, and he instantly, as they're walking through the hallway, he knocks a guy out with the jitterbug, and then he grabs the gun. Oh my God, the way it gives me chills every time I rewind the moment. It's just when he just yells at Dottie Underwood, he's had enough of her crap. We saw that last episode. This is your fault. You're the reason we're here. Entirely because of you. My wife's in danger. The pride and joy of my entire existence. The reason I know Howard Stark is in danger. It says, move now! Just the way he says now. I'm not doing it. An inkling of justice, folks.
No, you're not.
Take my word for it. Just take my word for it. Just the way after the realization of Anna, when he takes charge now, it's like, oh my God, I'm on the edge of my seat. Poor Jarvis. Hurry!
And you're right. From this point forward, it's like there's not a shred of comedy Jarvis here. It's like it's completely like he is just. I wrote down he's in commando mode here.
Oh yeah, like you. Oh my God, it's like a Jarvis who could like throw a rock at Ultron.
Right.
I'm not saying he could take him down. That'd be ridiculous. But I'm saying he could throw a rock at him.
Mm-hmm. So I love how we have this callback to the security system.
Yeah. So this is the only comedy with Jarvis we do have.
Leave the premises immediately, or the proper authorities will be contacted.
And Whitney Frost dismantles the security system, and
that's so goddamn intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, Anna Jarvis, she just kind of she writes it off as, "Oh, be quiet, honey," and it's like, "Oh, not now," and then she hears, "Oh, wonderful!" I love the way there's so ridiculous and hilarious about this. That at the same time, we have the juxtaposition of Jarvis being like all dead set serious, and like you've never seen him this way before. Intercut will be our next scene is then him being a pre-recorded version of Jarvis being the most hilarious at the same time. It's so hilarious, just the way he says "wonderful, have a very pleasant day." Like, oh my God, what weird world did we enter where we can have like such a serious heartbreaking Jarvis moment, and at the same time have just the most hysterical delivery of wonderful. Okay, so Frost takes note of Howard Stark's handiwork in the Palladium Core, which a little Iron Man reference, by the way, Palladium Core.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Just taking work, and Wilkes is like very terrified, just in there. It looks so defenseless in there at first. Says, "Oh yeah, Howard Stark does good handiwork. He's wasting his time on movies. He's wasting his genius on movies, which I love. That's what
I'm
she
getting kind of like a nice real parallel to Howard Hughes.
Yeah, I love it. That's her too. Being from Hollywood, that's her statement on things. Like I work all my life to get to where he is, and now he's going to movies. How ridiculous is that?
Exactly.
And Dr. Wilkes. Last time we met was quite an evening.
Right.
So Whitney's impressed by the terrified Dr. Wilkes. Where she's asking questions like, "Where do you go if you're not contained?" Really ominous. Like she's like a shark. It's like the reverse of the shark in the tank. Like he's in the tank and she's the shark swimming around him. She tries retrieving the zero matter from him, or tries to absorb him into her body, but he puts a stop to that. So apparently he can also control the zero matter when it's really in close proximity, which is very surprising and exciting to her. She's really scary that way. And he becomes a little stronger too, by the way.
Yeah, and she's just kind of pointing out like, oh, it affects each other. It affects each host separately. It's both of it is fascinating in its own way.
Meanwhile, we see Jarvis racing home, and he's very serious.
Yeah,
Again, this is piggybacking off that things better about kind of the silent drive when things are mulling in your head, but it's less about kind of Archie, the reverse Archie thing going on. It's more about, oh my God, my wife's in danger. I pray to God I pray to Lee that I'm not too late.
Totally.
I pray to Stan Lee I'm not late.
Oh God. Maybe that's where I got Lee Masters from.
And Dottie then saying, "Oh, I've never seen you this way, Peg. Scared."
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. So Frost is asking, "How did you do that?" And then he walks out. Just get out of here! Just begging her, like saying, "Get out of here!"
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting a little authoritative.
I mean, he's been through so much crap. It's like, who can blame him? He's just like, I just want to drink my $100 bottle of wine. Damn it!
1,000.
Oh, it's 1,000, really?
Yeah, we went through a whole thing. 1,000, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So she asks Wilkes to join her again. She just turns on a dime. You can understand why Wilkes is hesitant to join her because again, she tried to kill him in the second episode.
Of course.
So she asks him to join her. I think she makes a really compelling argument though. And Wilkes is also making points that are saying that, well, look, this is a force of destruction. Don't you understand? This again, Peggy Carter tells her this thing she doesn't buy because you don't understand what you're talking about. You're not a scientist, but again, she knows Wilkes is actually the only other guy on this earth that knows what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. So this is a force of destruction. The world's fine as it is. And then she scoffs at that idea. Really, the world's as fine as it is. You and Jane Scott were hired because she's a woman and you're a colored man.
Yeah, that is a really compelling point that kind of like it's at the heart of the show in a lot of ways.
And the main reason for that hire, for that diversity hire, was that basically so they can easily be manipulated or controlled.
Sure.
Yeah, because again, like they'd be very fearful of their jobs, job security in that case, because they're only employed in the workforce, which is very in the scientific fields they're in, it's like really hard to get kind of respectability. First off, and also just the fact that you can be fired in an instant just because women are fired. Like back in the 40s, women are fired like that. It's like we need someone new. Let's get someone new with male with credentials.
Right.
A black man pretty much is unheard of, according to Manfredi walking in the room. It's like, oh man, that's how. And well, before that happens, Whitney Frost's really good line here. She says, "How can you ever?" Have you ever felt like a real man in this country? That's a really good line, especially the fact that he's been fading in and out of being physical. He's been fading in and out of being solid. So have you ever felt like a real man in this country? And again, it's also kind of calling the question all McCarthyism stuff. All the kind of the Red Scare and kind of the communist hearings.
Yeah.
Let's see. So.
Man, Freddie walks in and he's just like, that's my Robin Hood.
But before that, though, it's really great bit there where she says, "I'm trying to change that." So Angie, this is where you kind of root for. You understand Whitney Frost. You don't root for her, but you understand what she's going for. She actually makes an interesting point that if you were Wilkes, you might reconsider it. She's saying she's trying to change that so people like us, like woman and man looked down upon because of his race, can be valued and can contribute, which is exactly what these two people want. We know Whitney Frost wants that more than anyone. So we know she's genuine about this offer here.
You know what's really interesting about this is it kind of like twists all the ideals that were present throughout season 1, you know, like the women's rights stuff, and like it's making a compelling case for that, but at the same time it's like, at what cost? I don't know. It's just some very interesting social commentary there.
Oh yeah.
All right, anyways.
So let's see. So okay, so then Manfredi, our guy, walks in and he says, after he says, "Oh, ain't you a little relevant? Oh, look at colored scientists. Now I've seen everything."
Oh God, jeez.
And then Wilkes gets really mad. He almost kills him. Actually, if you notice, he almost touches him and says, "Hey, you back off." You know, he almost.
Yeah, I think Wilkes is kind of like getting a sense of his power at this point.
Oh yeah. She then, as he's distracted, she knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So Sousa. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Sousa's on the way after. Sousa's on the way after he gets Anna's call saying there's intruders in the house and things are going south.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know if he mentions basically Peggy and Jarvis haven't been heard from in a while. Maybe you should get down there and check what's going on.
Yeah.
Then she spots the kidnapping after she hangs up, and then we get a moment that is pulled exactly from Batman Year One.
Is it okay?
I'm saying I get a lot of Batman references this episode because it's true. I mean, she's pretty much the Joker in this episode. This moment is entirely Year One. I mean, Kurtwood Smith could. I mean, as much as I love Peter Scolari on Gotham as Commissioner Loeb,
mm-hmm.
I could definitely see Kurtwood Smith. He would play a perfect Commissioner Loeb. You would, wouldn't
right,
you?
Right.
But here's the moment, though, and you remember this from the animated movie too. I mean, it's this Year One style. Sousa's like it's the dead of night. He's about to leave, and then he's attacked by ski mask wearing SSR agents, beating the crap out of him, chastising him for being all high and mighty.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It's the exact scene from Year One where Gordon's like being beaten up by the fellow cops, saying, "Think of that pregnant wife of yours, Jimmy."
right, of course.
Okay, let's see. So, and poor Seuss. I mean, your heart goes out to Seuss. He's just caught out of nowhere, and of course, with the cane once, and they throw the canes on him too, which is like, they throw the cane on him. It's like
that's just adding insult to injury right there.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So Anna, oh boy, here we go. Here's a heartbreaker, folks. Get the inside.
Right.
So Anna just pleads genuinely to Manfredi and Whitney Frost to let Wilkes go because she's afraid that he's going to fade into she's worked with him, she's helped him build the machine, so she knows how frail his state is right now. He could disappear for all she knows. She begs him to let him go, and Frost stops Manfredi from killing her, which I really like. And then here's the line of the episode where she says, "No, we're not monsters."
Oh yeah.
And then Frost is trying to make herself look like you guys. She's just saying, "Well, look, we're going to help him." And she is genuine about it. We're going to help him. We're going to make him, convert him to our side. He's going to be fine though.
Mm-hmm.
And just saying, "Look, he's in danger." This is, "Look, you won't get away with this. Peggy Carter, she won't stop looking for you." And oh boy, Whitney Frost, being the smart, strategic lady she is, says, "I don't doubt that, but this might slow her down a little." Oh God. Again, she's not a monster, but she's very cruel, though. Whitney Frost shoots her, and by the way, symbolically, in the same exact spot Peggy Carter was stabbed in, by the way.
I actually noticed that, yeah.
She just shoots her right in the side, in the car. Again, it's like the car's pulling up, like if it was a few seconds later, maybe they could have been there on the spot. We don't know. As again, like, you can't write the Shakespearean drama, folks. As Jarvis, Peggy, and company, they pull up in the car. Anna Jarvis is shot, and then our bad guys get away, and Jarvis he bolts out of the car. He runs up to his wife, who's like wailing in pain on the ground in front of him.
Oh yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Oh my God, seeing Jarvis is practically it's like let me tell you what I wrote in my notes. I wrote with 5 O's. No. no! And I was going that way when I was watching it for the first time. I was like, no, not Anna John, no!
Yeah, and it it really just kind of shines a light on Jarvis, who's been such a delightful comic relief character up until this point.
Like, it will haunt your nightmares the way Jarvis says help. Like, help!
Oh, God.
Seriously,
Oh,
it's the
God.
way he says help. It's like, oh my God, not our poor Jarvis. No!
Mhm.
No! Anyways, then we cut to the hospital. Peggy's instructing. Like, this bugged me. There's one little pet peeve I did have. I love this episode, but there's one thing, just one simple thing. Peggy Carter instructs the officer in front of them, an SSR agent, just look, there's a prisoner in the trunk of the car. Do not, in the back, it is in the trunk, right? In the trunk of the car, do not open. Do not look, there's a prisoner in the prisoner being the key word. There's a prisoner in the trunk. Do not open it.
Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of things wrong with this, actually. Like, why would Peggy just be so blatant about it?
Well, then again, Dahlia could probably just, she knows that Dahlia would just, like, at the minute they're out of the car, she's going to knock on and say, help me, please. That's
Right.
But she's
And
instructed.
B, it's just kind of like, it's so easy. It's like we know that Dottie's gonna get away. I agree. It was kind of a cheap shot.
Look, I'm saying, yeah, just Dottie get away, just have her get away. Why just make it such an obvious setup, though? Like, okay,
Exactly.
I'll tell you why it really bugs me just in a moment. Okay, anyway, so as I said, he warns the dumb officer what's going on. Anyway, so then we get, but let's talk about the good stuff though. We had Jarvis. Oh my God, they're in the hospital and she's being carted off, and there's like Anna Jarvis is being reeled in the surgery, and Jarvis is just in utter shock and bereftness as he's walking alongside her, but he can't speak, and like the nurse is like talking to him, asking like, "Well, what's her name? What's going on?" This cannot speak. He's just with her. And
Biggie has
his eyes
for him.
Yeah, it's he's just beside himself, and it's very scary seeing Jarvis like this. We've never seen him like this before. He's terrified.
Oh, yeah.
And then the stupid officer. Apparently, he's been shot by Dottie, who's escaped. Oh my! Why can't one job?
Yeah.
It read to me that the officer opened the trunk after Peggy told him explicitly and logically not to. But oh God, what an idiot!
Yeah, he's so dumb.
That guy deserved to die. He deserved it. I don't care. That guy deserved it. He was that stupid. He deserved it. Hey, we have Hitler in the trunk. Why don't you open it?
Oh, God.
And we armed him with a machine gun. Let's see what happens. Anyway, so Dottie's escaped, which is not good. Sousa's limping into work the next day. He's all beaten up and very, very year one style. And then we have such a Commissioner Loeb moment from Vernon Masters here. Again, he could play an excellent Commissioner Loeb in something. Just Masters.
Oh, what? You have a rough night, kid?
Yeah, and basically gives them the burglar's excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Those burglars, and you gotta love the tension there. Like they know what happened. Both of them know exactly what happened, but they're not. So Jim Gordon, Commissioner Loeb-esque. I love it. So any leads on that? Any leads on what happened at Isodyne? No leads, not yet. Oh, it'd be a shame for everyone. Not to find anything.
Mm-hmm.
Masters then takes over the summon. I love this little sound design thing as he stops Sousa from walking in his office. And yeah, I think I should take over. You hear like the little crack of like his sternum or something like in Sousa's chest. Like, oh God, it felt so painful. You hear like the cracks though of like, oh, either bones are broken or really sprained.
Oh.
Masters just takes over, here a few cracks, and says, no, I'm still on the job. Says, yes, it is. Basically, he says, it's necessary. He says, no, that's not necessary. He stops and yes.
Oh God! Oh, the sound design.
And then, oh my God, this is the way this episode ends. Oh boy.
Well, I love this confrontation with Masters because it really proves Masters to just be like a shark of a character, where it's like even just hearing him on the other line of a telephone is terrifying.
Yeah. So Peggy calls Sousa, let him know what's going on. Then Vernon answers and hello, and she hangs up. And then you have this. Oh my God! This is where you need the inside out tissues.
All right.
Okay, so, but point is, Peggy just walks over, completely silent, much like the car scene. She walks over there, and there's an understanding what's going on between both of them, and she just sits next to Jarvis. Jarvis. Actually, there was a really surprised detail I caught on the second watch of this Tiki, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is really very saddening if this is the case. As she sits down to Jarvis, and Jarvis is pretty much, she's been in complete shock, and the only thing he says, the most heartbreaking thing you can hear, he says, she's still in surgery. It can't.
Yeah, I caught that.
Well, and here's the line, though. Here's the line. It can't be even. Basically, it can't be even saved. If basically he's saying
it's like they can't even say if she'll.
Oh, I heard something else, Tiki, so I might be off here.
What I heard was they can't even say if she'll, which to me I kind of read is if she'll like maybe walk again, perhaps.
I heard
if she'll come out of her coma. Lots of different possibilities.
Well, here's what I heard, because just he's playing it so well, so overcome by sadness, it's a little hard to make it out. But I mean, regardless, it's still, we know bad stuff's coming, because he said, what I heard is it can't even be saved. Well, it makes me think like her legs, she's going to lose a leg or something.
I think I heard it differently. I think we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm saying it looks like there's going to be
yeah.
some. Basically, even if she comes out of this, she's still going to be really damaged. That's the.
I think regardless of what we're interpreting, I think that much can be clear.
Because it sounded like, again, it's kind of hard to hear. It sounded like it's like even if.
I think it was kind of like deliberately hard to hear with the sound design, because it meant to like suck us in, like, oh man, this is really tension.
But the main point is he doesn't finish what he doesn't clarify. He doesn't finish what he's saying, because he just can't finish. Like, so even say she'll be, and then just, oh my god, it's just this. James Dark. I'm going to go as far as this. Let him touch Cranston Samuel. Just let him touch.
No. That's the powerful mojo you're talking about.
Come on, I'm just like a little touch, just like a little like 5 Mississippi touch. Just let him give him 5 Mississippis. Just give Tiki. This man is deserve. Look at what this man presented us this episode. He deserves 5 Mississippis.
All right, I think so. I think we can allow him 5.
Give him 5 Cranston Mississippis.
5 Cranston. I want that to be a hashtag. Hashtag 5 Cranston Mississippi.
And then, oh my god, here's the last shot though. It's him, Peggy holding his hand, and with the last shot's like the two of them just there, and oh my god, it's beautiful. Okay, so promo next time. Jarvis wants revenge, obviously, against Whitney Frost. I think he just wants to put a bullet in Whitney Frost. So
and I think this is like, I'm really excited for this. This is going to be a side of Jarvis. Like, if we thought this was a side of Jarvis we haven't seen before, this is Jarvis who's completely dead serious and set on revenge, which is exciting.
I gotta tell you, a part of me really wants, I know it'd be kind of out of Jarvis's character, but I just really would love, emotionally, I just want to see Jarvis like be in a position where he's about to kill Whitney Frost and Peggy stops him.
Right.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying I want to like beat the living crap out of Whitney Frost and just be able to, like, be like on her chest or something, like.
And of course, Peggy's going after her to rescue Wilkes.
Yep, Wilkes looks like he's about to be experimented on, which is not good. And again, next episode, going up against the Magia, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, that's what it looks like what we're dealing with.
Okay, any more spec? I have some episode titles if you want.
What do you got? What do you got for titles?
Okay, give me one moment. Okay, so like we said, episode 8 and 9 is going to be like this week. It's going to be 2-parters, so we're going to get both of them this upcoming week. Episode 8 is The Edge of Mystery.
Ooh.
Intriguing. Episode 9 is A Little Song and Dance.
I got a sense it's going to be a big Dottie episode.
And then I'm really liking episode 10. It's just, it's very simple. It's Hollywood Ending.
Oh, that's such a great title. I can't wait.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Here's the big precedence though for that final episode though. They have to top. It's impossible to top. They're gonna be in a position where they have to top the ending of season 1, the Brooklyn Bridge blood scene. They're gonna have to top that. That's going to be impossible.
Yeah, that is definitely your criteria for sure.
I mean, I can't. Every time I watch that, even if I listen to that song anymore, I get really glassy eyed. It's like,
I hear you.
It's like oh god. I break down more than I do at Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's saying something.
I'm saying it's like they're on the same level. I can't really put one above the other. But Winter Soldier is kind of a whole everything towards the end. But this one's like that moment just breaks me every time. That's Peggy Carter moment. Just good. Every time she says goodbye, my darling, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, but overall, what do you think of the episode?
I thought it was really good. Like I said, I think probably the strongest point I had was Masters is just turning into a shark of a character, and he's very intimidating. Of course, we got some very good acting from James Darcy's part. Very kind of ramped up the suspense there. I'm really loving how Whitney Frost is coming along. I'm loving how we're kind of getting like the slow foreshadowing of the mask when it comes to, you know, the veil that she's wearing right now. So all good stuff. All good stuff.
Getting a lot of Batman parallels this episode,
Of course.
which is a lot of fun. I mean, literally, we got a year one sequence in this. The SSR has a whole year one thing going on with the corruption in the SSR. Oh my god, that's so great. And I'll bet you one of the guy that like was patting like saying, "Oh, Chief Sousa, what happened?" I'll bet you that was one of the guys that was beating them up. I'll bet you. But it was a great episode. Again, James Darcy as Jarvis was just so fantastic. And then the whole episode, I thought this whole episode was so great.
Yeah, it was very good. You know, good to kind of like. It's interesting that we're going to be leading into the penultimate episode this week, and so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anything else?
No, it was just more great stuff from this show, and they're hitting their stride. They're kind of like in the runner's high, so to speak. You know, like they're now just kind of racing towards the final stretch.
All right. So I guess with that, we'll be back either probably Thursday or Friday to talk about episode 8, which is, like I said, it is the Edge of Mystery. And until then, we are sealing up the box for now. Until next time, when we continue assessing Agent Carter.
Tune in next time, fellow patriots and spies alike, as we continue the further adventures of Agent Carter.
Oh, Chief Sousa's eyes. They're so warm. They're so wide.